Okay, so I'm gonna start working on the 2002 Gsxr 1000. It does need brand new fork seals. All the oil from the foam forks just leaked out. So I have the new seals and oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking everything apart. Get the front wheel off. Get the calipers off. Basically just get the forks out so I can go ahead and start servicing them. Okay, so as you can see, these are junk. They're so bad. We had somebody do them for us, change the oil because the seals were leaking. So I was gonna do it myself, but apparently the previous guy who did them did not know what they were doing. As you can clearly tell, the forks are messed up very bad. All these pieces are messed up. There's little springs and stuff just loose inside the shock and inside the forks. So there's not much that I could do personally. At least the at least I know that these are in good condition, but all the insides, they're junk. So I could buy some possibly bent ones from a crash, something like that, so I can remove the insides, put them in here, so it'll end up costing less to get the bike up and running. I got brand new forks from eBay for about $100. These have been in a crash, so I'm gonna go ahead and have to make from 4 forks. I'm gonna have to make 2 of them. This is gonna be a little bit tricky because I do need to take all the insides out of it. It's already taken apart. It was put in back wrong, completely wrong, and by the previous mechanic, did a really crappy job. And you gotta to remove completely everything, the dampening rod and all these and everything from the bottom half of the fork. You gotta everything has to be put in, so it's kind of hard to get it loose. So I'm gonna have to find a way of getting it loose without any special tools and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start fidgeting with this one a little bit more. Try to get it fully disassembled so I know how to take it apart on these. These are the good ones. So as you can see, these are good shocks, at least the inside. The outside, they have strip bolts, broken bolts. This is missing the bottom half of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to remove this one. Try to take this one apart completely, so I have an idea of what to do with these. Okay, so I got one of the forks, one of the good forks, torn apart. I want to get an idea of what it actually should look like. I do know that I need a special tool for this, an extractor. Okay, so I kind of got these pliers. They kind of taper out a little bit here on the top. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is grab the grinder and grind these down a little bit so I can fit them inside the holes. And with that, I'll get access to pulling it down. I'll probably put a rag here on the side, and then put like a strap and just pull it down to the bottom of the fork. Hopefully I can get enough clearance to pull this down and hopefully untighten the nut. Okay, so after like 10 minutes of grinding and losing half my hearing, I got the tool done. It fits pretty well on here. I'm gonna wait for it to cool down a little bit because it is pretty hot, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to remove it. So you might have seen in the time lapse that I was using the jack. I was actually using it to hold the tool right here. I used the loop right here, put it through here, and it doesn't move at all. So I had a pretty good, since I don't have a vise, I just use that. Kind of improvising a little bit, working with what I have. So I got these pretty sharp. So what the point is basically put it on here, get it to grasp, and then pull this down so I can get a. It's basically what the tool does. It just yanks it down. I filed it down so I could get a hold of the holes, since you can tell this guy didn't know what he was doing, and I don't know what he did. I think he just like squeezed it with a vise and try to pull it down or something like that, but I'm not sure. But whenever I did take the other forks apart, this nut wasn't even connected to the top. I'm not sure what that's called. That's why I just said that nut, but I know it's part of the dampening rod that goes all the way to the bottom. That's the one that pushes the oil to one side to the other. And if you don't have that, your shocks don't work. And that's why these busted, because there was no oil going through one or the other side. It was just relying on the actual spring. So that wasn't any good for the shocks and ended up breaking. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this now. I'll try to do a little experiment with it, see if I can get that loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back together, or at least try to mock it up a little bit to get an idea what it would look like. And basically I'll just start by putting in the spring, put this on, get the seals changed on the original ones. So this is one of the forks right here. This is the original one. This is the aftermarket one. Not aftermarket, but the one I just got. This is the original one. So as you can see, it's kind of cracked. So I'm gonna go ahead and start removing the seals and all that stuff. Okay, I'm gonna be installing my fork seals right now. I got this wiped down pretty well. I'm just gonna wipe it again just to make sure. What you want to do is put a bag over the top edge so you don't so you don't actually end up messing up your seals at all. The seals are pretty delicate. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and prime it with a little bit of oil first before you put it in. You want to make sure you have the right, you know what way it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some old oil. I do have new oil, but I bought exactly 1 liter, and each fork uses about about 500 cc's, I believe. So just to make sure you don't mess anything up, you want to go ahead and put it in slowly. It was the dust seal, then your safety clip, and then you have to put on your oil seal. I'm gonna go ahead and put some more oil around here just to make sure. I'm gonna double check just to make sure. So this is the right way. I'm gonna put it in slowly. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and pull this bag all the way down. Alright, so I'm gonna be reusing the O-ring. I'm just gonna put it upside down just to make sure it doesn't interfere with the with the O-ring. But I believe that's it. I can go ahead and keep putting it back together. Okay, perfect. So I got both of the seals in. That was kind of a hassle. Not bad for a first time though. Let's see what's in here. Alright, so it doesn't look too bad inside the shock, the fork. But now I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling it again. Oh, actually, I gotta start putting in the oil. So what you have to do with the oil is make sure you have everything removed, and then just start pouring it in. And this is not measured by quantity; it's measured by distance from top of the fork. So what you do is you grab a syringe, and then you put with a hose, and then you put a certain and you put. I'll make it two. Come off. I'm gonna start working on the other one, on the other fork. Try to get it done. All right, so let's start. Okay, so like always, I always run into some troubles. I was gonna put the original one back on, but the threads are really bad. So I'm gonna have to find a way to actually take this thing apart. I messed around with it for quite a while trying to get this thing apart, but I really couldn't figure it out. Okay, so new day. I'm gonna go ahead and try to remove the dampening rod from the good good inside that but the bad fork, because this one is, the threads are pretty messed up. If not, I'm gonna have to rethread them and just put it back in. But I'm gonna go ahead and try with the impact. Hopefully that works and we can go ahead and remove it. Okay, so I found a pretty efficient way to get it off. I actually put the spring back on and I pushed it against the ground. I pushed it on a mat so I don't mess up the top part of the actual good one. And I'm gonna go ahead and move to the one that's broken. Okay, so after messing with this for a while, I kind of gave up. I realized that I actually needed a special tool to get this thing off. So I ended up looking up, and as you can see, there's some little inserts right here. So there's basically a huge tool. It's basically like a metal pipe that goes on here, and it has the little grooves. This one is too big right here. So it has the opposite grooves from this, and it locks it in place. And with that, you can remove the strut assembly from inside. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is go to Home Depot real quick, get another PVC pipe, and hack it up. And hopefully, I can make my own tool without buying one from the internet. They're about 20 bucks. They're not that expensive. I just want to get this done this weekend. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to Home Depot, get what I need, and we'll be right back. Okay, so it's been a few days and I made this special tool so I can go ahead and remove the bottom part of the shock right there, of the fork. So what this basically does is this has some grooves right there all around it, and whenever you push this down, it locks in there. So once you try to untighten the bolt, this won't spin. Okay, so the tool worked perfectly. Exactly what I was trying to do. Without the tool, you'll be there just struggling. This will be spinning the whole time while you're trying to loosen it. But with the tool, it holds it in there and helps you get it loose. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and the other fork with the good bottom and slide this in there and start putting it all back together. Okay, so I finished putting back together the second fork, and now I'm gonna go ahead and fill them with oil. You want well, you need a special tool, but I'm making my own tools. So basically all you need is a syringe, a tube. They prefer like brake lines and stuff like that, so you know it's straight. But this one, I straightened it out pretty good. And basically you grab a zip tie and then you measure out how much distance you have from the end. on the manual it says you need about of air clearance is about 90 millimeters. So this is measured out to 90 millimeters exactly. So what you have to do is just put it in down here, and this gets to the 90 millimeters, and then it just stays there like that. So you'll get a perfect reading for how much oil you actually have in your fork. So with this, you measure how much you have, and with the syringe, you just take out whatever you have extra. And right here I have my motor oil. So my fork oil, my bad. So this one is about 1 liter, and each one makes around 500 cc's. So I actually have like the exact amount for my forks, so I cannot drop any of it at all. So here I have my pretty ghetto construction of holding my forks up. That's kind of tipped this way. I gotta fix that. There you go. I'll figure it out. And basically, you gotta measure it standing up, obviously, so all the oil goes down. Then you gotta pump it, and then you're gonna go ahead and put in the top part and everything else. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and pour in the oil, and then take out whatever I don't need, and I'll continue from there. Okay, so I kind of ran out of storage, but basically I got dampening rod right here. There we go. I got the spring in there, and I turned this around so I can hold this in place so it doesn't drop down, because I already did that and I had to remove this, and I spilled some oil, but it should be fine. So right now I'm actually waiting for my dad so he can help me put this on, because it's not that easy. It doesn't just go in like that. I have to put in the this locking thing. This one is the bad one, but this basically goes here whenever this thing's turned around, and it goes there. So and it goes over this sleeve like that. So I basically have to push this down so I have access to the nut that's right here, and I can tighten it and then loosen it, and then it all gets it's all basically sealed so it can't come out. So I'm just gonna wait on my dad so he can help me put this on. Okay, I got one done. So as you can see, it's not coming apart, and it does seem pretty loose, but it might just be the type of fork oil that I put in it. But I'm gonna worry about that later, trying tuning it and everything like that. So right now I'm just gonna focus on putting this one back together as well. Okay, so we got both forks ready. They're both ready to be put in back in the Gsxr, and I'm probably gonna continue tomorrow. It is kind of late, so I'm gonna leave this here and I'll continue tomorrow. Basically gonna put on the forks back on. I gotta check the brake pads to see if there's oil on them, because they were yeah, there you go, oil. So I'll probably take them off and clean them, and eventually I'll get some new ones because they're probably just, the pads probably just soaked up all the oil from the forks. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting it back together, and I am missing one bolt that holds on the calipers. So I had this tray here and I accidentally kicked it and the bolts flew everywhere, so hopefully I can find it. It should be laying around here somewhere, and well, I'll just go ahead and start putting it back together. Okay, so here we have the Suzuki. I just got it cleaned up. So basically, yeah, as you guys saw, I tried to reuse the brake pads. Not a good idea. Does not brake at all. Rear master cylinder is still dry. I'm gonna start working on it again, but it'll be another video. Basically, gotta get new brake pads, hopefully for the rear ones as well. What else? Oh, the front tire, it was flat, which I didn't even realize it. So that one's flat, and I gotta put air in it. So this bike has a computer that richens it up. So basically, my problem is right now it's running way too rich. So yep, there we go, power commander. So it's running way too rich for the idle that it has right now. So I also have to go ahead and remove the tank and give it a little bit more throttle so the RPMs aren't too low, and it basically just dies on you whenever you release the clutch a little bit, or whenever you rev it up and then you just let it let the RPMs drop again, it'll just die. So I gotta take that apart and fix it, but that'll be another video. So for now, I mean, we got the forks fixed, so big accomplishment there. Definitely, that was my first time doing it, never done that stuff before. Just went off YouTube videos and forums, people talking about it, got the recommended oil and everything like that. So I mean, they work perfect. I'm actually pretty hyped. So next video, we'll fix the brakes and the idle problem.